Alright, yeah, we all love a good NFL comeback story. The old vet that gets one more shot at glory. The guy you thought was out of the league 3 years ago suddenly pops up in week 9 and makes a game-changing play.
On first down, Javonte Williams leaping through a hole and tackled around the...
Yeah, without a doubt, us NFL fans eat that up. But for every player that actually completes the comeback, there are dozens in the shadows. Some former stars that are toiling away despite there not being a huge market for their services.
He leaks out as Carr scrambles to his right, launches the ball down the field. Behind the D, it's Renfrow.
Some will make it happen, but some, honestly, they shouldn't even bother. But they're all out here trying to prove that they still belong. So, without further ado, how about we take a look around the league and call out 10 players that you probably forgot are trying to make a comeback in 2025. Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool burst onto the scene with the Steelers in 2020 and immediately looked like the next big thing. He had all the physicality needed, big frame, blazing speed, and the ability to make contested catches with the best of them, which made him especially dangerous in the red zone. We're talking about a dude that had 11 total scores as a rookie. Pittsburgh thought that they'd found a steal in the second round, taking him out of Notre Dame. Well, fast forward to 2025, and Claypool's career has been completely derailed. But like any problem, they didn't spawn out of the blue. Oh no. They were festering in the background for years. After his rookie season, reports surfaced that Claypool started to get a little bit too big for his britches. Then, the production dipped. The attitude tanked further, and the Bears, who traded a second-round pick for him, cut ties after just 10 games.
Simeon with the deep throw, wants Claypool. Chase Claypool has the catch.
His next stop was in South Beach, where he sleepwalked through his days as a Dolphin, barely cracked lineup, and became the latest poster boy for wasted potential. At least for the time being. Because according to Claypool, at least, he might have some more left in the tank. You know, if he can maybe lock in and prove his way onto a squad, then who knows? He could still be a weapon. But I think the smart money says that he'll be cut before camp's up and most likely forgotten for good. Michael Gallup. There was a time that Michael Gallup looked like the next big thing in Big D, even with all the weapons that they had. There was a growing contingency that believed that Gallup might even emerge as the top. In 2019, he put up over 1,100 yards and established himself as a legit deep threat opposite Amari Cooper.
Some bodies. Prescott hit as he throws, and the pass is caught. Gallup.
Smooth routes, reliable hands, and enough breakaway speed to burn a corner at a moment's notice. So, what the heck happened? There was a slight regression the following year, but he was still pretty dang effective. Yet, in 2021, that knee gave out. He suffered a torn ACL that not only kept him out of half the games, but also robbed him of his explosiveness, which never quite hit those same heights again. The Cowboys gave him a new contract anyway, hoping that he'd bounce back, but, well, he didn't. CeeDee Lamb became the guy, Brandon Cooks showed up, and Gallup was left fighting for scraps. By 2024, Dallas had seen enough. They cut bait. Now he's set to turn 30 this upcoming season, and it is do or die. He is trying to find a new team with an offense that he can fit into to show that he's still got something left in the tank. If not, then, well, he's going to go down as just another what-if wideout whose career got wrecked by one bad step. Jason Pierre-Paul. You know, you gotta give it to JPP. Dude just refuses to go away. He is 36, he's got a mangled hand, and he's already got 2 Super Bowl rings.
It's been uneasy all night. JPP coming after him.
Most guys in his position would have hung it up already and started filming car insurance commercials. But oh no, not JPP. After bouncing around with the Ravens and Saints in 2022 and 2023 and sitting out the entire 2024 season, he is now grinding behind the scenes trying to earn one more contract. If he has it his way, then it'll be with the Giants, where it all started. I think that'll be dope. Tremendous, Pierre-Paul said, to go back somewhere where my career started. The fans know me and know the type of player that I am. I'll always be that type of player and just give them everything I got, which I know it'll be more than enough. End quote. Look, he might not be the 12-sack monster that he once was in Tampa or New York, but he's still savvy, physical, and capable of giving you 15 to 20 useful snaps if your D-line's banged up.
Wentz keeps it, and he he's dragged down. Jason Pierre.
The league always finds room for guys who know how to win. JPP might not be flashy anymore, but he is reliable. And he could be a big part of helping to reset the culture out in New York. Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick hasn't taken an NFL snap since 2016. And yet, here we are, nearly a decade later, and we're still talking about a potential return. Cap's been vocal about wanting to come back. He's posted workout videos, written open letters, heck, he even did a tryout with the Raiders in 2022. But the league hasn't had much else to show him other than radio silence. Whether you see it as blackballing, business decisions, or straight-up politics, the end result is the same. It kind of feels like the NFL closed the door to Cap for good. And now, at 37, with nearly 10 years out the league, he still thinks he'll be able to find his way back onto a roster. But I don't know. I just don't really see it happening. I don't know how to break it to him, but most teams wouldn't even bring a backup quarterback after 2 years off, let alone 10. And never mind all the media frenzy that would ensue. Nyheim Hines. Nyheim Hines was always a sneaky weapon, lightning quick, shifty as hell, and dangerous in space. He carved out a nice little role in Indy as a pass-catching back and return specialist. Never the bell cow kind of back, but he managed to prove himself as the guy you forgot about until he ripped off a 30-yarder on 3rd and 12.
Rivers throws, pass caught, Hines, and
So it actually came as a bit of a surprise when they dealt him to the Bills in 2022. Much to Buffalo's disappointment, Hines just couldn't contribute anything meaningful as a runner or pass catcher. Though he at least had his moment in the sun with 2 kick return touchdowns in a single game, which was the emotional comeback after Damar Hamlin's collapse.
twice. Is this for real? Can you believe it?
In 2023, however, disaster struck. A freak jet ski accident tore up his knee before training camp. And just like that, Hines was sidelined for the entire year, sending his career into a bit of a tailspin. The Bills released him and, well, the rest of the league just kind of moved on. Hines is reportedly healthy and hunting for another shot, though. Still only 28. But does he still have the same wheels, same ability to cut on a dime? I don't know about y'all, but looking at this one with honest eyes, he's coming off 2 full seasons out of football and was struggling to produce before he shredded his knee. There's just a real good chance that his window is now officially sealed for good. Hunter Renfrow. Once a walk-on, then a Pro Bowler, then a ghost. That is the strange saga of Hunter Renfrow. He was a scrappy walk-on at Clemson who turned into a national title hero, then a 5th-round pick by the Raiders who somehow became Derek Carr's most trusted weapon. Undersized, overlooked, and impossible to cover in the slot. In 2021, he put up over 1,000 yards and became the modern answer to Wes Welker.
He leaks out as Carr scrambles to his right, launches the ball down the field, behind the D, it's Renfrow.
Then Josh McDaniels arrived, and everything went sideways. Injuries, scheme misuse, you name it. Suddenly, Renfrow couldn't even get on the field. By the end of 2023, he was barely a part of the game plan. The Raiders released him in 2024, and he has floated in free agent purgatory ever since. But here's where it gets deeper. Renfrow wasn't just struggling on the field. Oh no, he was fighting something off of it. Ulcerative colitis, a brutal autoimmune condition that left him feverish, weak, and at one point down to 150 pounds. That's not just tough. It's damn near impossible to play football like that. Now he says he's healthy and the conditions are under control. And he's back up to playing weights, so he is locked in again. The Panthers took notice and brought him in to compete. Slot depth, veteran presence, maybe even a safety valve for Bryce Young. Remember, Renfrow is still just 29, so don't be shocked if you see him revitalize his career and prove to be a useful weapon for Young this season as the Panthers try to change the story down in Charlotte. Damon Arnette. The Raiders made Arnette the 19th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, and with pretty good reason, or so they thought. He was a physical, aggressive corner out of Ohio State with first-round swagger and a mean streak that looked tailor-made for Sundays. On paper, the man checked off every box.
It out. I mean, excellent job by both players, and that ball was perfectly thrown, by the way, from Peyton Ramsey. That's where it's got to be, as usual.
But Arnette lasted barely over a year in Vegas. He played just 13 games before the team released him in 2021 after a video surfaced of him waving guns around and making death threats.
We cannot stand for the video of Damon with a gun threatening to take a life.
Yeah, that kinda off-the-field circus. Then came more arrests, assault with a deadly weapon, drug charges, the whole rap sheet. The Chiefs gave him a brief shot on their practice squad and cut him just as quickly. After that, the NFL turned its back. And yet, now in 2025, against all odds, Arnette is back. The Houston Texans just signed him to a one-year deal after he balled out in the UFL with the Roughnecks. 8 starts, 19 tackles, 1 pick six, and according to Arnette himself, a completely new mindset built around professionalism. Look, there's no sugarcoating his past. He blew a first-round opportunity in spectacular fashion. But at the same time, the league loves redemption stories. And if Arnette can stay clean and keep making plays, who knows? We could see one heck of a comeback here. Henry Ruggs. Let's be real. Henry Ruggs is the toughest name on this list. Like, the whole story is a moral lightning rod. Ruggs was the Raiders' top pick in 2020, taken 12th overall ahead of guys like Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb. He was supposed to be the guy in Vegas. Blazing speed, big play potential, a 4.27 at the combine, human cheat code. And then, the unthinkable happened. In November of 2021, Ruggs got behind the wheel drunk, twice the legal limit, and slammed into another car going 156 miles per hour, killing an innocent woman. And here we are, 2025, and Ruggs is talking about redemption. He appeared at a Hope for Prisoners event. He spoke with humility, called it a tragedy, and that he's a changed man. He is now eligible for parole in 2026, and if granted, he'd be just 27, still young enough to play. Former teammate Josh Jacobs says that he's training, staying in shape, and yeah, that teams are already watching. Only time will tell on this one though, because even if Ruggs gets released, even if Goodell reinstates him, and even if he's still got juice in those legs, what team is going to take that PR hit? Boston Scott. Boston Scott is one of those guys who always played bigger than his size. At just 5'6", he carved out a role with the Eagles as a rotational back and kick returner. His claim to fame in Philly was his ability to play giant killer. Every time Philly lined up against New York, Scott turned into prime Barry Sanders. He scored 10 of his 17 career touchdowns against the G-Men. Outside of those NFC East grudge matches, he was more of just a rotational guy. Steady, scrappy, and dependable. Never the lead back. With Philly, he was the ultimate change-of-pace weapon. Could catch a screen, run inside, return kicks, just a solid all-around football player. Scott, however, unfortunately had his 2024 plans derailed by a partially torn meniscus while he was trying to make the squad in Pittsburgh. Well, now Scott says he's healthy again and ready to roll. I don't think he's gonna headline anything, but hey, don't be shocked if he quietly signs mid-season and steals a few red zone snaps. Kevin King. Kevin King was essentially out of the league since 2021, but his name is starting to do more than just ring a bell once more. He missed the entire 2022 and 2023 seasons with a number of injuries, including a dreaded torn Achilles, and it was one of those stretches where you figured, yeah, this guy's probably done. But last year, against all odds, he found his way back onto a squad, and King felt damn good about it. I'm not really one to get too emotional and stuff like that, King told Atlanta's digital team reporter Taryn Wack after his first preseason game with the Falcons, but when I ran out in the tunnel and was just looking up right before the national anthem, I was getting a little emotional. It was something that I almost couldn't even shake a little bit, end quote. In limited action, he saw 10 tackles and proved that he deserved another shot. Now in 2025, King's on a one-year deal with the Falcons and right in the mix, and ready to take a stab at the real test and try to solidify his comeback. But hey, which NFL players did you most forget or trying to make a comeback in 2025? Who do you think we're right on here? Who do you think we're wrong about? Was there anyone that we may have missed? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.